Howdy everybody, it's Amy here from Amy's Sparkly Diamond Painting. Welcome into my channel. If you're new here, welcome in, and if you've been around for a while and supporting my channel, thank you so much. It continues to grow and I continue to have a good time doing this, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a while and sending me comments and all that good stuff. But we have a box today. This arrived this morning, and this is a new to me company. This is a purchase that I made myself. So this is not a product review package, but you may have seen this company popping up in your Facebook feed like I have almost daily. So I thought I'd go ahead and give it a try and pick something out and let you guys see how this worked. So I placed this order back in June, and I was trying to go back and find exactly when. I didn't want to log into my bank and go to that much trouble, but the first email that I had was June 23rd saying that my item had shipped. So I think I bought it probably mid-June, a few days before I got that email. Maybe even earlier than that. I may go back later and try to figure out how long ago I bought it, but it is now the end of July here. I think today is July 26th, so it says it shipped June 23rd in that email, but I got it FedEx today on July 26th. And the tracking number that they gave me when they sent me the email saying it shipped was incorrect. It did not work. So I had actually chalked this up as a loss when I waited and waited. It had been over a month. I didn't hear anything. Every time I clicked on the tracking number, it was a DHL tracking number that didn't work. Well, that was apparently the wrong tracking number. So when I did a little research and digging in and going back to the website and logging back in with the order number and everything, I found a different tracking number that took me to the right information, and it turns out that it didn't really get going until July 10th. So even though they sent me a shipping email on June 23rd, it didn't really ship then. And they started sending me emails in early July asking how my experience went, and I thought, well, I haven't gotten it yet. And they kept sending me reminder emails about once a week through July to review my purchase, and I was like, well, I can't because I haven't gotten it yet. I didn't go to complain to them. I was kind of giving it more time because of all the customs issues and everything. I do try to wait more than a month now before I start bugging a company that something might be wrong. But anyway, 10th of July, it started its trek. It got to the U.S. Around the 18th or 20th of July, and then was picked up by FedEx after customs and arrived to me this morning. So what is this, you're wondering? Well, this is from the company Pretty Little Gem. And you may have seen them, like I said, on Facebook. That's where I found them. They do a lot of the mini sets, and the mini sets that they do look a lot like the ones you get on Temu that are available on there. So I wasn't real sure what to think, but I went ahead and clicked on one of their ads on Facebook, and it took me to their shop where they had bigger diamond paintings. And they had one in particular, a design that I really wanted to check out. So I took the chance. So this is Pretty Little Gem, but they do have bigger ones. And I believe you can check square or round, and they may print to order, which is why even though it said ship June 23rd, it didn't really start moving till July. But anyway, this is a square that I picked. And the price of this one was $57.95, so it was a little bit pricey. I was taking a bit of a chance, but it came with free shipping. So it arrived today in this box. It looks a little bit beat up, but I had to open it to see what this was because I wasn't completely sure. So I did peek just at the outside here, and now I got it stuck. There we go. And within the box, it came in this plastic. So this also has a shipping label, so I'm not going to show you with my address and everything. So somehow it got shipped in this package and then moved over to a box along the way. But I've never ordered from Pretty Little Gem. You may recognize the look there from Facebook if you are a diamond painter and on Facebook. But they do, like I said, normally advertise the minis, but they also do large diamond paintings. So this claims to be a premium diamond painting kit, and it is packaged nicely. It did get here in a little over a month. So when you think in terms of like Jaded Gem Shop and some of the other ones that do take a couple months, it's really not unheard of. It is quite large for free shipping, which is good, but it's in a box and sealed in plastic. So already, even though the shipping was kind of weird, already I'm thinking this looks pretty promising. So let's see what we got. That's enough of an intro, right? So let's open this up and see what a Pretty Little Gem canvas full size looks like. So nice little box here, and yeah, we're looking good so far because we also have a plastic cover inside, so it's definitely protected from moisture. And what I'm seeing already is kind of what I was sort of afraid of with the picture, but you'll see why I picked it here in a minute. It does look like a fair amount of color blocking of a really dark color there. But what I also see here on the edge is that it is 59 colors, which is a good thing. So even though this looks like color blocking, it's actually, I see a couple different symbols here. So it's not completely, but this is a space picture. So there will be some black. It's a good way to test black drills from different companies. Let's see. Ooh, okay. So we do have a scalloped edge, and it's kind of a felt backing. It's not quite like, say, Diamond Art Club, but it is pretty thick. It is felt backed, and it is scalloped. It's actually pretty heavy. It feels good. But here is the image. It is called Earth from Space. So even though the edges look like a lot of dark coloring, we have a, let me roll it all the way so you can see the whole image here. So we do have the branding at the top. We have the key on this side as well as at the other side. But we have kind of an outer space view that's kind of like what looks like the sun over here. And then we have the clouds and the planet Earth. Here's Central America through here, so Texas would be right around here. But I love the weather type satellite image look to this one with all the clouds, and it looked kind of like a realistic map. So already it looks pretty good. And we have part of South America down here, and then it kind of fades off, and we got a lot more color blocking down here at this side. So even though it kind of first looked like it was going to be a lot of black, it's actually not so bad. And I do see some different color definitions here in the clouds, which is important. So far, so good. I should look for the size here, 50 by 75 centimeters, and that must be true to size here because it looks pretty big here. Yes. So 50 by 75 is indeed the diamond painting area, which is cool because it did look kind of big here. I like it. It's making me happy so far. Okay, so let's see here. We got a toolkit with it. We have a blue pen and the plastic tweezers. Not the best for the tweezers, but I have enough tweezers. And I do actually use tweezers, especially for AB drills. So we got a tray. We got a couple different thin plastic multi-placers here. We have a squishy and we have a wax. And it looks like just one pad here. Yeah, maybe two. Nope, it's just one really thick one here of the blue wax. Let me stick that in there. So, not too bad for the toolkit. What about the diamonds? That's something we definitely need to check out next. And here we go. It is marked here with a number, let's see, 034. Yes. So the diamonds do match a number here at the bottom of the canvas. So if you store your diamonds separately, you don't need a label on it. These are squares here, and they are kitted up. So it says there are 68 packages in here. So with 59 colors, I'm guessing some of the darker colors here like that will have more than one package in them. But looking at the drills, we'll take a closer look at those because like I said, this is brand new to me, company, but they look maybe like resin drills. I'll have to double check for you, and I'll try to maybe put a comment somewhere in here if I find that. But just looking at them, I don't see any dimples or anything. They look really shiny. They look really flat on the bottoms. So, this is turning out better than I thought. It has a QC check there, QC pass. So I guess I did check the inventory, make sure that all the diamonds are in here. So let's see what we got. Lots and lots of bags here. I didn't order any ABs. I think they do have that as an option. I just didn't think for this picture. So here's how each bag is labeled. It has the DMC number there, 3765. 8.3 is probably the amount there, and the number 45 there is the key there. So color 45 on that list is indeed this color. So that's what that number 45. And then 034, that is the identification there again for the canvas. So if you were to even lose individual bags, it does tell you which canvas it belongs to. So that's pretty good. So yeah, this one shows 18.9. I'm guessing that's the number of grams of diamonds. Color 3761, which is number 44. So a couple little stragglers in there from another color. But hopefully you can see that. Those look nice. Okay. There's another bag of 3761. Here's 3756, which is a very, very pale blue. Probably in the clouds. So we'll keep looking at the colors. Look at all those turquoise colors. Beautiful colors, as you would want for a planet Earth. It almost looks like the canvas might be printed slightly darker than the color choice here, although there's some darker blues. There are a lot of light colors here, and definitely multiple bags of the same color, so they must only fill them to a certain amount before they get another bag, because they're not like completely stuffed. But I see like 2 bags here at 38.65, and they're both only half full. So they must have a max limit for how full they fill the bags so that they don't spill out. There's 939. Lots and lots of blues and gray blues. Let's see, 823. 823, 823, and 823. So yeah, lots and lots of that dark blue. And I'm looking because I don't see black. There is no black on this one, believe it or not. So here I was thinking that I could test out black drills with this picture, but there is no black. It's all dark blue. So that's cool. Let's see here. This one's 747. And we'll just pull the rest out here and just spread them out. And 336, 311, several bags of those. Lots and lots of blues with a little bit of the browns and the greens that are for the land masses on here. So those are our bags of diamonds. And I may go ahead and put them back in here. I'm not sure I'm going to work on this one immediately, although I am curious about the grid spacing here. So maybe I will and stick it at the end of this video. It is the weekend. It's Saturday. And, oops. Ooh, that was close. One little bag stuck in there in the corner that I didn't see. So 68 bags. And there it says 50 by 75 again. So what do you think? It's better than I was expecting. I was taking a little bit of a chance for that kind of price on something like this, but with the free shipping, it wasn't that bad. So $57.95. They do claim on the box that they are a premium diamond painting company, and we had double plastic wrapping. We had a box inside of a box. So very nice soft canvas that feels thick. Cover paper, let's see, cover plastic feels like standard cover plastic, nothing too thick or anything, and the stick feels good. It's not extending beyond the diamonds here, so I can rub my finger across and it's not sticky, maybe a few millimeters beyond there, it's a little bit sticky. But I'm going to go ahead because I have the time today. My hubby went to a car show this morning and he let me go without having to to go to the car show. I was free from the car show. Not really my thing. Definitely much more of his thing. So anyway, the house is quiet. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick a spot. I'm going to cut it out of the middle. I'm not going to start at either end because it's kind of boring. How about right there? That'll be a little bit of cloud, a little bit of landmass there, and some of the blue. So maybe I'll just cut a little hole out right there and see what the spacing looks like, and I'll be back here in a few minutes. So hold on just a sec. All right, everybody, I'm back with some thoughts. So I did a little bit more looking into the company. I went back to their website to take a little bit closer look. They are based in New Mexico, so this is a U.S. company. However, they are, as all the other companies, getting their stuff printed overseas, and they do drop ship from China. But the company is based in New Mexico, so they are a newer company. I'm not sure how long they've been around, and they do a lot of minis, but they obviously also have full size. Their square drills are resin, so I could tell as I was working on them that they are indeed resin drills for the squares, but the rounds are acrylic, and that's pretty common with most companies, even Dreamer Designs, that people love their rounds, and they say that yes, their rounds are acrylic because they're just the best way to do round drills. So rounds are acrylic, but squares are resin. And what do you think? I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit more here. I kept the plastic over this because I wasn't sure how far I wanted to go. So the spacing on this is actually really good. I don't mind here trying to zoom in as much as I can. This is with the light pad on. So I can turn off my light pad here. I don't know if you can even tell the difference there. It's off. And there it's on. So the spacing is nice and tight. So if you like tight spacing, if you like the clicking sound when you are putting diamonds in like the checkerboard, then you will definitely like this. So the diamonds do fit very close together, which means multi-placing, not a problem. Now the area I picked is quite confetti heavy, and that's why I picked it. I kind of wanted some of the ocean color and some of the land color. There's a little bit of cloud in there. Some of these I missed, and I just didn't worry about going back because I'm going to work on this some more later. I just wanted to get enough of a sample where I could talk to you about it. So one of the things I would say that might be a negative is that there is no inventory sheet and there is no sticker sheet. So I was doing little, whoa, I really zoomed in. I just looked up at my camera. So I was creating little stickers with the symbols. Oop, that's a G versus a 6. Ignore my handwriting there. It's kind of messy, and my pen was actually a gel pen, so it was smearing a little bit, so some of those are a little bit messy. I'm going to zoom back out. So I'm making myself dizzy there. So with no inventory sheet and no sticker sheet, you will have to do stickers with your own symbols. Most of the symbols are pretty straightforward and would be easy to draw, but let me see if I can move this over. So if I had to give any feedback, which I will, I would say ditch the plastic tweezers and go for a sticker sheet or inventory sheet at the very least. So here are a lot of the symbols. They're pretty straightforward to try to draw, but a couple of them might be a little tricky. But I did run into this that I wanted to point out. So here's this symbol and here's this symbol. So those were both blue. Let me get my cheaters on so I can make sure. Yeah, so this symbol, ignore my fingernails. I'm really rough with nail polish. That's why I normally don't worry about it, because I do so many crafts that it just rubs off. So these two symbols here are pretty close. You have to kind of compare them because the colors are also pretty close. So if you use two symbols that are somewhat similar like that, it might be good if they were completely different colors, like one of them green and the other blue, or brown and blue or something, to make it a little bit easier to tell them apart. So there are some numbers, upper and lower case letters in there, but they are kind of mixed around here, as you can see. So a few of the symbols might be a little bit tricky to draw by hand. See, there's another one that, but instead of being at the diagonal, they're up and down. So I didn't have too much problem. It was just those two symbols are the only ones I see that could be a little bit tricky because they are both the same color. So it would be cool to have some sort of sticker sheet, or at least an inventory sheet, where those symbols are already printed so you could cut them out and stick them on the baggies. I'm going to go ahead, before I go any further on this one, I am going to kit it up. Especially with so many baggies to look through, with this being 59 colors and with some of these being multiple bags, it's a lot to look through to find the different colors here. So I'm going to kit this up before I go any further, but I really wanted to show a sample of this, and that's why I didn't tear the plastic or anything, because I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to get to this. Boy, the glare is so bad on that, so that's why I can just put this fold back over. So what I did is I used one of these little ceramic cutters that has a teeny tiny blade at the end there, and I was able to just cut out of the middle of this, and that's how I got that little section. And because that ceramic cutter is so small, it didn't cause any cut or anything on the back of the canvas, so it worked great. Love the spacing, love the resin drills. Didn't have any trouble with them. There was a little bit of trash on a couple of them, but not anything unexpected. Now let's talk about rendering, which is going to be the one unknown I'm going to have to leave you with for this company, because this particular image is not really going to let me know how the rendering is for their other images. Because this is very abstract. I mean, we're talking about a planet Earth here with clouds and landmass and water. It does look a little messy there. You're probably going, what in the world is that? Maybe you can tell a little bit better through the camera, but this is that part of Central America with the ocean here and a couple clouds, so it's not very clear. I think as part of the overall larger image, though, I think it'll become much more clear from a distance, but I can't really tell from this how their rendering would be for other designs. So you probably want to look through their website and see. They do have some really pretty artwork. I am definitely going to order from them again. They won't probably be one of my regular go-tos, but they do have artwork that is different from other places. So I was really happy to find something like this at Planet Earth. I mean, this is so very much me, and I haven't found anything like that in a more premium canvas in a really long time, or ever, actually. So I do plan on continuing to order from them for some of their artwork. And I think I will try another one, because I really wasn't sure, so I thought I'd just try one. I will probably try another one that's maybe an actual picture of like a house or a person. I might do one of their people on there. They do have several like witches and girls and other images there, because that way I can tell skin tone and see if there's any digital confetti versus hand rendering type style. I don't know exactly how their rendering is, if they're doing like a hybrid where they take a computer rendering and clean it up, or if it's straight computer rendering. I really can't tell with this particular image, as I'm sure you can tell too. It's going to be more abstract for this, so it's going to be really hard to tell. So I'll try to place another order for something where we can see how the rendering comes out for that. But they do also list on their website the information about how long it takes for some of these, because the minis they may have in stock, whereas these larger images they do drop ship and they have to print them and everything. So they do give the estimate of 3 to 5 weeks on there, which is about what this took. It was closer to 5 to 6 weeks on this one. But I was definitely pleasantly surprised with the number of colors. Some of them have 90 or more colors on some of their artwork. It does look to be licensed artwork as well. And I'll probably place another order here somewhat soon, maybe next month. And I will try to put in an order for one of their minis, and then another canvas that has a little bit sharper lines on the artwork, and see how that comes out. But I am usually judging a little bit harsher for something called a premium canvas, which this was, and the price was maybe just under what you would pay, well, actually pretty close to what you would pay for a Dreamer Designs or Diamond Art Club. Kind of reminded me actually of Oraloa. If I had to pick a company that I would say is pretty equivalent, I'd say it's a lot like Oraloa. So $57.95, but free shipping. So if you consider the size of this being a 50 by 70, a typical Dreamer Designs is 60 by 80 and goes for, you know, $80, but there's always sales. So when I say $80, it's because of the tariff surcharge and shipping and all that. So 60 versus 80, it is a little bit cheaper. But I really think they could benefit from a sticker sheet or inventory sheet. But otherwise, I am happy with it, and I will continue to work on this at some point. But I will definitely kit it up because of the multiple bags and just the amount of drills. Now, I did find it handy that they did put the key number on there, down there at the bottom, because that's how I was searching through the bags. It's a little bit easier to remember a 2-digit number there rather than a DMC number. So I did find that to be helpful. So what do you think? Do you think it looks pretty good? I like the spacing. It's just the image in that little section is going to be hard to tell. So this is pretty little gem. I paid for this myself. I did not do any product review package, nothing like that. This was just my own curiosity. So check them out, look around, see what you think. But I will try to get another order for you to get a little bit better assessment, because I think it's worth it to try some more. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.